As you know, last night, leaders in the House unveiled a legislative package that would keep the government funded as well as address some bipartisan health care priorities, including a number of issues that I personally have been working on for some time. I'm hoping that the House will pass this legislation in short order and that the Senate will quickly follow suit. Let me talk about some of the specifics in the package. First, the House bill would extend funding for the Children's Health Insurance Program for 6 years, which is the longest extension since the creation of the program. And as I'm sure you know, Mr. President, I am the original author of the CHIP program. 20 years ago, Senator Ted Kennedy joined with me to draft the original CHIP legislation and to move it through Congress on a bipartisan basis. I have maintained my commitment to this program for the past 2 decades, even during times when others sought to change it dramatically from its original purpose. During this Congress, as the chairman of the Finance Committee, I have been working with colleagues on a long-term reauthorization of CHIP, despite some contrary claims that I and the Republican leadership had somehow neglected or forgotten about the CHIP program and had no intention of reauthorizing, of reauthorizing it. It's no secret that I've taken some flack in some corners here in the Senate from colleagues looking to get some political mileage out of the issue I've worked so hard to keep bipartisan. But I'll remind my colleagues that this past September, the Finance Committee's ranking member, Senator Wyden, and I introduced a long-term bipartisan CHIP extension bill that was overwhelmingly reported out of the committee. A number of my colleagues, including some who were on the committee and voted in favor of that bill, seem to have forgotten this legislation had been drafted and reported. We've endured a number of speeches and television appearances from colleagues accusing Republicans of abandoning children in need. My gosh. This is so even though our friends on the other side were entirely aware that the effort to reauthorize the program had been continually moving forward. The House's bill is identical to the legislation Senator Wyden and I introduced last fall, except that the funding continues for 1 more year. As I noted, it extends CHIP for 6 years. We've never gotten such a long extension since the creation of the program over 20 years ago.